Great. Hi, my name is Tiffany Davis. I'm going to show you how to install this car seat rear facing using this seat belt. This is called an Evenflo Titan 65. It can be rear facing in the vehicle and it can be forward facing in the vehicle. And today I'm going to do rear facing with the seat belt. First thing you might notice is that there's two holes on the side. We've got a hole down here and a hole down here. These are called my belt paths. This is where my seat belt goes if I'm rear facing. This is where my seat belt goes if I'm forward facing. You also might notice that we've got something dangling. This is called a lower anchor, and we want to store this when we're not using it so it doesn't fly around and hit our child. Now this stores up here on the side, and on this side it will store in the same place. These are another option to install the car seat. However, we are going to use the seat belt, so we're not going to use this option. We've got a top tether here. The top tether is something that we use only for forward-facing children. It comes out of the top of the car seat, and we also don't want it to fly around and hit the child. Since I'm doing this installation rear-facing, we don't want to use it, and we do want to store it. So I'm going to go ahead and store it, and it gets stored on one of the sides near the lower anchors. And my last feature is something called a recline stand. So on the bottom of the car seat, we have a stand that you have to pull out, and when you do that, then it can be in a reclined position in the vehicle for rear facing. So we want to make sure that our recline stand is being used, okay? Now I have one feature on here called a level, and I'm going to come really close to the camera, and my level is hard to see, but it says that this arrow must be level to the ground when this car seat is used rear facing. So we want the level to be parallel or even with the ground when we're installing this car seat. What that does is it makes sure that the car seat is at a good angle for the baby's airway or the toddler's airway. So once we know that we've got all of our stuff, we can go ahead and put this in the car, and we're going to check that level. So I'm going to make sure that my arrow is parallel or level to the ground. Now in my vehicle, I have a really good level. It is parallel to the ground. In some vehicles, that won't be the case. So the manufacturer allows you to take a rolled towel, any towel from your house like this, and set it in the bite of the seat, which is where the vertical meets the horizontal, and to put that stand on your rolled towel. And that might help you to tilt your car seat to level it out. But again, I do not need that in my vehicle, so I'm going to take that out. I'm also going to move my front passenger seat up just a little bit so that it's not pressing on my car seat. All right, and next I'm going to put my seat belt through. So it goes through the correct hole, which is the rear facing belt path. I want to make sure it goes straight through. It's not twisted. It should go in front of the buckle. The buckle is the piece in the harness system that comes up in between the child's legs and in front of the child's crotch. So we want the seat belt to go in front of the buckle on this side of the buckle, and then the buckle's on this side. So it goes straight through the car seat, no twists, and it goes to the correct hole. That's step one. My next step is to lock my seat belt. If your seat belt can go in and out like this, you typically have to lock it. So the way that you do that is you pull it all the way out, pull slow, don't yank or pull hard, all the way to the end, let it go back in. You'll hear a clicking or a ratcheting sound. When you hear that sound, that's good. That means that you locked it correctly. And if I give it even just a light tug, I'm not really doing much of anything, but just kind of pulling on it, it's now locked. It's not going in and out anymore. It's just locked. That's step two, and step three is tightening the car seat. So a lot of families will test their tightness right here on their car seat, and they'll say, oh, it's moving a lot, I need to tighten it. And that is true, but we want you to test your tightness at the belt path. So this is your belt path. So we want you to test your tightness here, or you can get on one side and do it. If it's moving more than 1 inch at the belt path, then we need to tighten it. So I'm going to push on the car seat with one hand. I'm going to pull on the seatbelt with my other hand. So I'll go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to hold all of the tension in my hands. So my left hand has all of that tension that I just pulled, and now I'm going to get that back up into the car. So I can kind of rearrange my seat if it moved a little bit. That way it's straight. I'm going to make sure my seatbelt's locked. I'm going to double check my level, making sure that that line is parallel to the ground. And now when I check my tightness at my belt path, only my belt path, it's not moving more than 1 inch. So that is the correct installation rear facing with the seatbelt.